There is a quiet war being fought in American politics, and it has nothing to do with policy. It is a war over language, and one side has been losing it for decades without fully understanding why. The word is pragmatic. Say it out loud and notice what it conjures. Something gray, something without conviction. The pragmatist, in the popular imagination, is the person in the room who kills good ideas in the name of what's possible. Meanwhile, the word idealist lands differently. It carries light. It suggests vision, courage, the willingness to fight for something larger than yourself. We name schools after idealists. We put them on currency. But consider what happens when we look at these words through a different lens. An idealist is a person who sees the world as they want it to be. A pragmatist is a person who sees the world as it actually is. This framework allows for a path that successfully navigates the obstacles of the terrain to reach the intended goal, rather than a straight line that assumes no obstacles exist. In a pluralistic democracy, the distance between the world as it is and the world as we want it to be is vast. Bridging that gap requires a toolset designed for reality. Abraham Lincoln did not hold the Union together by defending an abstraction. He read the actual terrain, made brutal and practical decisions in real time, and adjusted course when the moment demanded it. The Emancipation Proclamation itself was a pragmatic act, calculated, strategic, and timed for maximum effect. It was a morally consequential decision, but pragmatism is what provided the strategy to achieve it. In South Africa, Nelson Mandela sat across a table from the architects of his own imprisonment. He negotiated not because he had abandoned his principles, but because he understood exactly what the actual moment required of him. A pure idealist waits for the world to become what it should be. Mandela chose to build the world that was available. In both instances, the moral victory wasn't diminished by a cold reading of reality. Pragmatism translated the vision into an outcome. President Barack Obama governed as a true pragmatist, relying on evidence, incrementalism, and a clear-eyed reading of the political landscape. He was criticized relentlessly for it, called timid and uninspiring. But those labels overlooked the work he was actually doing, being honest about what the landscape would bear. What critics called a lack of inspiration was the essential work of being honest about political reality. Consider the track record of idealists in power. Ronald Reagan governed from a vision of what America should be, prioritizing the idea over economic complexity. The brutal collision between that vision and actual economic reality produced consequences that working-class Americans are still living with today. George W. Bush similarly governed from a vision of what the Middle East could become. By completely refusing to acknowledge the actual complexity of the region, the resulting collision reshaped the world into a catastrophe. When the idea becomes more important than the outcome, the idealist in power stops seeing what is actually in front of him. They risk breaking the systems that real people depend on. Democrats have been called pragmatic as an insult for so long that some have started to believe it is one. Managing a coalition of Black voters, union workers, educated professionals, immigrant communities, and rural progressives isn't philosophical weakness. This tension proves someone is doing the hard work of governing a real place with real people. This operational work is what it takes to govern a country that actually looks like America. The idealist in power is often less accountable to complexity. The idealist builds a monument to what should be. Pragmatism built the New Deal. Pragmatism ended apartheid. Pragmatism preserved the Union. The pragmatist builds something that works. It is time to take the word back, recognizing that the most lasting achievements are built by those who see the world as it actually is.